Previewing Week 13 in college football here at SBR Forum Videos. I'm Peter Loshak, and we are talking right now with returning guest Joe Duffy from OffshoreInsiders.com. Joe, thanks for being here once again, and tell us a little bit quickly about OffshoreInsiders.com.
OffshoreInsiders.com, we actually trace our roots back to the score phone days of the 1980s. A couple of our handicappers actually are from the score phones, but I got started back in the industry for the old Dial Sports 976 score phone days, was on the free score phones. Those of you who are fellow OGs, as you like to say, Peter, OG gamblers, you might remember me from my Cadillac Club 900 number score phone days of the 1980s. This thing called the internet actually put the score phones out of business. No problem there. It actually made me be able to earn a living without ever leaving my house. So offshoreinsiders.com is where I believe that we have the best handicappers in the country, and we do trace our roots back to way before the internet.
We're going to call you OC, Original Capper, or Original Kappa, depending on how street you want to be about it. All right, Florida State, huge game. There is some issues with at quarterback with injuries, so the line isn't out yet. Why'd you pick this game despite no line being released?
Well, the quarterback, Driscoll, the last we checked, he's listed as probable, but I understand where the odds makers want to wait until there's more definitive information. He is one heck of a quarterback. He's a great athlete, very difficult for the defenses to defend against. To be honest with you, one of the reasons I wanted to talk about this game is because I have something that's extremely important. Everything I say, of course, Peter, is important, but something that is enormously important that applies this weekend, and statistically, illustratively, it really jumped out in this series. One of the biggest myths in all of sports is when you hear people say, I got to go with the underdog in rivalry games, or quote unquote, throw out the point spread, throw out the records when these rivals meet. I did a study of that. Now, it's obviously a little bit subjective on how to define rivals, but there's no question that Florida State is a big rival. And as far as going with the underdog, do you just go with an underdog regardless of the point spread? The most common meme that I've heard is, got to go with a double-digit underdog in rivalries. Now, when the line is posted, this is not going to be double digits, but I did a study and found out that that was false. Specifically, in this series alone, the chalk has covered 5 straight in the series and 12 out of 14. Now, I'm not a huge believer in series statistics because we know that the personnel changes in both of these cases. The coaching staff has changed, but this series illustrates do not blindly bet the big underdogs in these so-called rivalry games. But I also realize that there's some big motivational factors for Florida. Keep in mind, if USC upsets Notre Dame, now I know USC without Barkley, it's becoming more and more unlikely. That game is played after this game. So Florida has the motivation of style points. If they have a big, impressive victory here and USC somehow upsets Notre Dame, we're going to see another all SEC national championship game.
But you're going to be leaning Florida.
Towards the Florida Gators, but especially if Driscoll is healthy. He's a big part of that offense, and he is a tremendous athlete. So if he's slowed down, if the reports say that he's going to be 60%, I may pass on the game, but all the early check marks are on the side of Florida.
But you're saying that regardless of the situation with Driscoll, you're leaning Florida regardless.
Well, yeah, Florida most definitely has all the motivational factors,
right.
And there's a big check mark definitely in Florida's column as far as my premium picks are concerned.
All right, great preview, great analysis. Thanks so much. Joe Duffy from OffshoreInsiders.com.